Hello guys, my name is Clever. So in this video we are going to have to talk about task 1 writing description of vocabulary. First of all, by simply improving on your vocabulary, you're going to have to score 75% more in those band descriptors. So guys, let's get started. So first of all, the layout in task 1 is you start with the introduction, which is like a paraphrased title, and then you go ahead with the overview, then body paragraph 1, and then body paragraph 2. So let's first go through, the band descriptors for task 1 writing. First and foremost, we have task achievement, which includes answering all parts of the question, and then coherence and cohesion. Here they require to include linkers in your essay, and then you also have to have a logical flow in your essay. And then thirdly, we have lexical resource, a fancy word for vocabulary. So they require to have a wide range of vocabulary, as well as paraphrasing and lots of synonyms. You're expected not to over-repeat words. And then finally, we have grammatical range and accuracy, whereby you're required to incorporate complex sentences in your essay. You are required that most of your sentences have to be grammatically correct. So by improving on your vocabulary, you're definitely going to score better in coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy at the same time. Not only are you improving on your writing, but also your speaking part 3 as well. This is what I always tell my students. So guys, let's now go ahead with some vocabulary you can use with the introduction. So with the introduction, some other words or synonyms you can use instead of the table shows. You could say illustrates, demonstrates, depicts, compares data, especially when it comes to pie charts. You could as well change the years. Instead of saying from 2010 to 2014, you could say over the 5-year period, or you could say the graph provides information on or gives information about. Yes, you have to be careful of those prepositions. Provides on, gives about. And then secondly, when we move on to the overview, most people love to say this word overall, but you could say generally. It can be seen that, it is noticeable that, on the whole. Now let's move on how you can describe trends. So let's get started. There are verbs and also the descriptive words, and then later on we shall talk about figures, and then later on percentages, fractions, proportions. So let's get started with the verbs. For instance, a graph can be increasing or decreasing. So let's first start with decreasing. So if it's past tense, you could say decreased, dipped, fell, declined, dropped, also a dropped, or experienced a drop, reduced. So all these words can be used with some descriptive words like decreased slightly. If it's slightly, just like the way you see right here. Decreased gradually, decreased marginally. Yes, and all these words that I've mentioned can be used with such descriptive words, so that you can really alter these words. It's imperative that you do not rebound or repeat these words. You have to show a wide range of topic-related vocabulary, all graph descriptive vocabulary. So on the flip side, you could say dipped, fell considerably, substantially, significantly, markedly, or fell sharply, fell noticeably. If it's too drastic, you could say fell drastically, or declined dramatically. This is more of all of the sudden. So now let's move on when the graph is increasing. So we could say increased, rose, climbed, reached a peak. So if it's too drastic, we could say skyrocket, or shoots back up. That's when it first falls and then it goes back to where it was. So similar descriptive words can be used. For instance, we could say increased slightly, gradually, marginally, considerably, substantially, sharply, noticeably, or skyrocketed. Skyrocketed, like it's one word to mean both of these. So it's all the same. Just by saying it increased drastically, you could just say skyrocketed. Yes, and if it's a level, just leveling up, you could say it plateaued, it leveled off, or it remained constant, or it remained steady. But if you're comparing one figure to the other one, you could see it remained relatively stable. So last but not least, now let's move on to fractions. Fractions, for instance, if they give you percentages, you could say proportions, shares. So let's first break this down. 80%, you could say 4/5 instead of repeating 80%. 75, you could say 3/4. 50, that's a half. 25, a quarter. 20, a fifth. 10, 1 in 10. And then there are some, words you can use near these figures, and these are just over, just under, approximately, roughly, almost, nearly, about. So you're going to have to say just about this figure, just about a half. So for instance, if they say 77, you could say just under 4/5, so which is like just under 80%. 49, just over half. 32, you could say approximately a quarter. So you have to really vary your language. Yes, and that's all, guys. More and more videos are coming up, especially on task 1 writing, because it's the easiest part of writing task 2. And thank you so much, guys, for watching.